Friday nights during the fall, six-man fans gather to watch a sermon of grit and determination be delivered by 6 men, 10 minutes at a time, 4 quarters a night. Here you'll find the quarterback is also the linebacker and the kicker, where iron sharpens iron, where hard work pays off, and where 6 are won. Now for your host of 6 is 1, Coach Goldman.
Welcome back to 6 is 1. This week we have Coach Richey and Coach Edwards from Borden County. The audio portion of the interview again had difficulties, but we do have the game film portion, and we did break down and spend about 50 minutes speaking with the coaches about their offense and especially their defense, as Borden County is well known for playing great defense. And so we're going to go ahead and post this week the film that we have, the game film breakdown, and we will try to circle back around to both Coach Richey and Coach Edwards and redo the interview portion at another time. We hope you enjoy the game film as we break it down this week. God bless. Welcome back to the second half of 6 is 1. We're going to break down some film here with the coaches from Borden County, and really looking forward to this. For those that on the other side, we talked about how both coaches have had really a start as defense. Correct, guys? You started as defensive coordinators before.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, that's the same here. I did defense before my mentor, Pastor Helm, decided that he was going to become selfish and go do missionary work in Central America, and he forced me to take over as head coach, which I didn't want to do.
I bet your offensive playbook got better because you were defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah, I tell you what, it has. It changed. I kind of like, I think it was Bob Stoops that did that hired Leach, and somebody asked him one time why he hired. He says the hardest thing to have to defense, and I didn't want to have to play against it. Right. So yeah,
that's kind of how some of our plays on our offense side is, because we remember the things that hurt us defensively. We're like, man, that hurts us defensively. You might as well run it offensively.
Yeah, that's literally how I've come about a good portion. Now we still, we won't get into it, but we still run I think we're the only ones left that run the O'Brien, the true O'Brien.
Really?
I see variations of it, but yeah. But the nice thing is, and the reason why it works, it's very difficult. You need to run it from junior high up because of the timing elements. But it's hard to find anybody that can replicate it in a scout offense.
Right. Yes.
And so
that's kind of like Garden City, Baton Marie.
Yeah.
Stuff that it's hard.
Yeah, it's just hard to replicate it. And so when they get to game speed, it all of a sudden you go, whoa, the scout team didn't run it like that.
Right.
But anyway, we still dink and dunk with a lot of the same other stuff. Same way, things that cause us issues or matchups. If we think we're very flexible on offense, not so much on defense. So let's start.
You need to send us a game film. I'd like to see your O'Brien. O'Brien here.
Sure. We got lots of. Well, this year the running joke is, if all we've got is one play. Yeah, unfortunately, that's all we've needed for a part of our season. But yeah, I'll send you some of the part that we just got blessed this year with. We got one really, really fast kid, and he's something else. It's always good to have one that can burn.
Right.
But the good thing is being a coach, he's only a junior. I get to see him one more year.
Yeah.
So let's.
Gotta like that.
Yeah. My problem is he doesn't have siblings. We're always into you need to have siblings, male.
Yes, sir.
So
you say discuss defense alignment.
Yeah.
responsibilities on the sweep?
Yeah, so what we got a sweep play coming up, but I mean you wouldn't know it's a sweep play, but I'm just curious here. Yeah, let's just talk a little bit about, I know it's a 2-3. Some people would look at this and think it's sort of like a 3-2-1, but I know one guy's playing soft, so let's talk a little bit about this guy over here. Well, let me get my arrows. Gosh, I can't draw an arrow. So what's his read? What's his responsibility? Is his let's just walk down the line. What's the responsibilities there?
Well, now you're gonna get me telling all my secrets. I don't know if I can do that or not.
Oh, come on, Coach.
No, everybody knows because they try to misdirect us some of the things we do, but we got counters for that. But that's the defense end. We call him the weak end. He usually stays on the fullback side. And obviously, I think the fullback went in motion there, but he's just keying that center. He's shading the center, keying that center. Just kind of what we call read a hat. A lot of, most time that hat is going to step the direction where the ball's going. And then, so those three guys, all three of those guys, they're on the front line.
Yep.
All three of those, they're taught, their keys to read a hat. So they're reading the hat of the people in front of them. And they're taught to step and punch and stay on a line, stay on a rope.
Stay right down.
Stay on a rope.
Straight right down the line. Yeah.
Yeah, right down the line.
Yep.
And then once you get a chance to swap a hat and shoot your hips, obviously that's what we did there.
Yeah.
That's when you can attack.
Get off that block there and see that's where the backside end comes through. Really,
yes, sir.
Should have been cut, but yeah.
These guys, and you're going to see, this group of kids that we have right here, they watch lots of film.
Mm-hmm.
And, they lined up everything perfect, reacted perfect. And, everything was kind of on cue. So we played a lot faster this game than we normally do. I think a lot of it was just because of film work.
Yeah.
And recognizing formations and what this opponent did, what they normally do out of formation.
So here, you see a lot of this, whether it's JBird or shotgun JBird. I guess that's what we call them, or even if they put a split T in the back, but they still have some kind of J, formation. Are you playing head up on the JBird typically, or just shade shoulder, or or does it make a difference when you got a Q under center that now can hand to the guard or hand to the J back? How do you play this when you?
Probably that's we don't want to give up the outside, so that defensive end will probably play on the guy,
and then
the furthest out. Obviously if that guy splits out, that defensive end won't go out there, but if they stay J gun right here, he kind of splits the two, kind of between the fullback and the center.
Yeah. And now this is interesting. You're walking a guy up and you're splitting him out. This is what got my interest. Pre-snap, any idea why he walks himself? Because the J-back doesn't go anywhere. And this guy closes up.
Yeah. I think he was just barking something. I think he saw something that we've seen on film. Yeah, I think he knew. Kind of alignment what they're fixing to do. Rewind that if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Can you rewind that back to the beginning? Yeah, I think a lot of it is ball placement, what hash it's on. He's just letting
telling everybody
what he probably saw right there at safety. He probably saw maybe just something by alignment, maybe red eyes or something, and he's thinking the ball's going to a certain direction right there. Actually, we probably should have been in one man over.
On the start, right here at this guy over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what he's doing, is calling him out, calling him to move over.
Yeah. And that's why he ended up getting double teamed right there.
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
And he found the hole. He found the hole. I mean, he got a decent gain there. Luckily, the hole collapsed pretty quick, but I think we did not line up properly there.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the film. I'm guessing, tell me, do y'all break the film down? Do you when do you work with the young men on film, or do they, they're asked to do that on their own time? How do y'all handle film?
Well, they watch it all the time on the weekend. As soon as Coach Richey gets the film from the opposing coach, he will share it with all the team members. And so they watch it all the time. And when we show up Monday, we go over scout report, and then we'll watch film. And I mean, they can tell us things that they may give me a tip about something that I didn't even see because they saw it. And I'll go look at it and I go, hey, you're right. So they're students of the game. I mean, they enjoy watching film and trying to get an edge and an advantage, and then we just take what work that Coach Richey and I do and share it with the kids and try to get a game plan.
Well, give me a little bit here. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. One is, what is if your guy is more physical on the end, if either of your ends are more physical than the guy across from them, or you think that, then do you have them more head up as opposed to outside, or?
We feel like the hardest block in football or in six-man football is ask a guy to whip a guy head up.
Yeah.
So that's why we like to line people head up. And we just teach our guys, in practice, we just drill it. Just, you got to get the first punch in. You got to be able to mirror that helmet. You got to get your arms extended to keep his arms off you. And if you can just stay in a tie, if you can stay in a tie, you've won half the battle.
Yeah. Well, and it also keeps those guys from releasing if they're trying to release.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't give
them. And then obviously if the offensive guy is just a bigger monster than we are, and we're going to get whipped every time, then we usually have a B plan.
Yeah. So, and that's when you might shade a guy outside a little. Just you're not going to give up the edge, is my guess, is the biggest key. So now, here you got three. This is going to be a third down and long. So probably thinking, what is the coverage? I mean, how do you break down? Is this a zone, basically a catch man kind of thing, where because you got a guy coming out this way and you got a guy coming that way? It looks like basically a two-man route mostly. I think they're trying to.
This is a bust coverage because the top safety.
Yeah, we were supposed to be in a different defense right here. We're supposed to be in a covered. To see the guy. See the safety in the back left. Yeah, that guy and that guy next to your arrow. That guy. They're supposed to roll into a two safety coverage.
So they're supposed to. This guy's supposed to be back, and this guy's supposed to be back.
Yeah.
And they're splitting the field. They're basically splitting the field on their side. Yeah.
Yeah. That is correct. And five of the guys knew we were in. The guy on the top of the screen.
He did.
He did not. And he squatted. That's why the guy got behind.
Gotcha. Yeah, because he doesn't even see. He doesn't even have eyes on, and you can tell. I think this guy breaks when he's watching the cue, and just takes a gamble. It's what it looks like, because he got two guys out here, and technically he would be picking up one of them here, is my guess. Either one.
Yes, sir. And then one of those guys will roll to a linebacker, so we'd have a linebacker in the short zone.
Right. So typically one of these guys has the short side, and this guy has like short side that way or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, can it be a different guy? Do you switch it up sometimes as to which one's dropping?
No, the guy in the middle.
Yeah.
Of the three, he'll usually just pick one. And so if he picks the guy on top of him there, above him, then those two will rush, and then that one on the bottom will drop. that's why that kid slipped right there.
Yeah.
He's probably getting ready to drop that short zone left.
Gotcha. Well, so it basically turns into a 2-2-2 type scenario, at least for this coverage.
And a lot of times we'll show our base defense, and out of our base 2-3, we can roll to a 2-2-2. We can roll to a 3-1-2.
Yeah, that's very similar to what we do. We try to, depending upon how many they're going to throw out on any given route. Yeah. So what was my question? I don't even. I put these questions in so I can remember. Oh, this. Yeah. I mean, you got snaps, so almost like you can tell right at snap, everybody's slanting. So, I mean, that's just watching helmets and getting across and then of course the counter is what is being run here.
Right. Yeah, that's a good call again.
Yeah.
And
really, that guy should have been blocked. This guy should have been blocked. He just wasn't.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff that gets you in trouble for what we do, and we'll change our keys if that's a play that keeps hurting us.
Yeah. So, kind of until they make it a problem, you keep jumping to the play side and taking away the sweep. Is that usually the? I'll just say for us, our deal is you're not going to sweep on us. I mean,
right.
You can do anything, and you might be able to beat us up by just gouging us up the middle, but you're not going to sweep on us. That's kind of like where we start. I don't know where y'all start, but
well, I don't know. We just a lot of it's just down and distance and where the ball's at on the hash and tendencies. I mean, we kind of figure out, tendencies on coaches and things like that. And I don't know. We're pretty stingy. We don't. A lot of people. 6-man football is tough to stop people. A lot of people try to outscore you, but being a couple of defensive guys over here, we try to find the best way to keep you out of the end zone.
Yeah. That's been my. When I first came in, everybody told me that you can't defense 6-man. I was like, I don't believe that. I guess my thought was people don't spend a lot of time trying to defense 6-man. So
right.
That's actually a good question. How much of your time is spent, let's say on a game week? I'm not talking August or spring ball, but how much of it is spent on the three aspects of the game: special teams, offense and defense? So how do you break it up roughly?
Depends on who you're asking sometimes, but obviously we have kind of some things we do every day as far as putting the ball in the air and things like that offensively. But when I build the game, practice plan or whatever, a lot of times we sit down and talk about some of the things that maybe we feel like we need. On Mondays we go over scouting report. We do a lot of conditioning. We try to pick something that we saw from the game on both sides of the ball that we feel like we need to address. And then Bub does a great job. He gets what he thinks is about the top 10 plays, and we start repping. Kids get to see the top 10 plays from the team that we're about to play on the field. After we go over the scouting report, offensively, some things, if it's blocking schematically, how we want to block, some things we feel like we didn't do well, we'll drill rep, maybe one thing, two things, and then we'll apply it, for some basic sweep plays or something like that. Or if I've got some new plays that we want to run, it's kind of how a typical Monday goes. And then we'll go watch video. But Tuesdays, we, typically in a normal practice, I try to allow enough time for about an hour for Bub to do, whatever drill work. We got tackle wheels this year, which, if you don't have a tackle wheel, those things have been great. Our depth has been pretty poor the last few years. And so we hadn't taken anybody to the turf and I don't know how long, just for fear of any type of injury. So, anytime we go scout-o or even, you know, one-on-one tackling, we just wrap up. And with the tackle wheel, we've been able to implement getting to the turf for the first time in a long time. But he'll do drill work with that. We'll do individual drill work, whether it be secondary and defensive front, things like that. And then put it all together and do some, you know, I'll have the scout team huddle, and we'll go over defensively. So try to give the defense at least an hour a day and let him kind of pick the things that he feels like he needs during that time. And so I wouldn't say it's 50-50 as far as offense and defense. And then there's things, you know, we've got a really good kicker, and, you know, sometimes at the end of Tuesdays, but always at the end of Wednesdays, we do some, you know, 2-minute offense, and then work on clocking the ball and kicking a field goal and things like that, and then work special teams really hard on Thursdays. So, you know, special teams get most of the day on Thursday, plus some spit and polish on both sides of the ball. But, you know, that's kind of how a week's breakdown goes for us.
Yeah, it's good. I always like to hear how different coaches go about it. And one of the things which cutting, obviously they changed it, a lot of the rules, but still you cut with inside the, you know, here's a cut coming, you know, guy starts high, goes low. You know, he ends up getting to your guy. Here's another guy starting high and then, you know, rolling low. And here's in the backside. I picked this one out because you got 3 guys getting, you know. So what is your you know, your coaching points on the cuts? Just out of curiosity.
Well, obviously not very good when you see that video.
You know, leave it up to me to find the one where all 3 go down.
But to keep playing, I'm curious to see something.
I get back up and get in it.
Yeah, okay, rewind that. And that's just, for one, we didn't just lay there. I mean, we did try to get up. And we do, like Coach was talking about those tackling wheels.
Yeah.
You know, our kids, you know, we'll say hot feet or, you know, feet, and they'll pump their feet, and we'll say hit, and they've got to hit the ground and get up and go tackle that dummy.
Right.
So that's teaching the kid to get off the ground and go make a play.
Right.
So I mean, believe it or not, it helps. Just a simple drill of hitting your belly, get up, and then you go make a tackle. And then, you know, every Monday when we do our conditioning, we do the same thing. We'll hit our belly and sprint 10 yards. You know, there's no tackle wheel that day. It's just hit your belly, get up, sprint 10 yards. So you're trying to get the mindset to your kids, you know, hey, we can get off the ground quick, still make a play. Don't just sit there because you got cut block, you're done. You know, you still got to get up and play football.
We used to, the last few years, we spent a lot of Mondays. Part of our conditioning too is what we call pursuit drill. And part of the pursuit drill is they hit their belly, then they got to get up, and then they got to take the proper angle. And you know, we need to get back to doing some of that. But it was something we do it. We call it 4 downs. So you got to do it 4 times perfect, getting across, and then we would jog it down, do perfect sweeps. But you know, one of the last things Bub will do pregame for us, you know, defensively, we do some tackling drills that we do, just some pop and wrap, and then we do a read, react, cut drill, and then we finish, you know, we do spread rush in pregame, and then the last thing defensively we do is we do 1 or 2 pursuit drills with a JV guy running the ball and just having those guys, because we want that mindset of, you know, just because you hit the turf, hit the ground, hit the grass, whatever, play's not over, and you got to get up. And, you know, like that kid got up, both of them got up, you know, obviously didn't make it to the tackle, but that's the mindset you want to have in the kids. Just because you get cut, just because, you know, because that's part of the game. You know, you can drill them, you can do whatever, but when you play a team, you know, obviously the caliber of what you've got on the video in White Deer, you know, we're not going to win every battle. And that's the thing, you know, that's the thing we try to stress to our kids. It's you know, it's a marathon. It's, you know, it's not a sprint, you know, and you got to stay focused, and you can't let one play define who you are. And if you get cut, you know, you got two choices, and choice one is lying there and just wallowing in self-pity is not the option. It's get your tail off the ground and let's go. At least you can run him down from behind. And I think our kids have done it, you know, especially this bunch, doing a good job of that.
And I'll tell you this, there's been several times where that play right there will happen, and a kid will get up off the ground and he'll chase the guy and make the tackle at the inside the 5-yard line. And because of that, and then turn around and go 4 downs and keep him out of the end zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because of that one effort play where the kid got cut and didn't give up and hustled and made the tackle, saved the touchdown. You know, sometimes that's all it takes to keep him out of the end zone. But we do. I mean, we practice getting cut and getting off the ground and making tackles.
That's a good point. Yeah, just the old up-down stuff. You know, I probably should instill more of that ourselves, because you're not going to get anybody hurt just jumping on the ground and getting back up.
And I'll tell you, that tackle wheel. I mean, if you don't have, you need to invest in the tackle.
Oh, we have them. Oh, don't worry. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the tackle wheel. Yeah,
kids enjoy it. Our kids enjoy hitting it. That thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it does. It takes away, because this is the first year we've had more than 15 players, or I guess last 2 years, last 2 years. So we've gone, you know, and when you're playing with 13, I mean, and I don't mean players, that's 13 bodies, right?
Right.
I mean, that might be 7 or 8 players.
Yeah, 7. Can't afford to get one hurt.
Yeah, you know, people would always, why aren't you hitting in practice? Because I just, you know, yeah. I don't want to be that guy. I always tell parents, you get to play Monday morning quarterback. I don't. So here, you know, on your sweep, just, you know, your sweep, your version of the sweep, we're walking through it here. You know what? You know, I'm going to work it twice in a row. I think the read here, I'm guessing, is I either hook this guy I can, or I kick him out. One or the other is my guess, is what the coaching point there is. That
yes, sir. And we may have obviously we came out a little jittery, you know, because we did things wrong on both sides of the ball. But you know, we want to try to get downhill, and you know, we don't want to spend a whole lot of time going laterally. That's been
that play. We went a little too far.
Yeah,
flat there instead, more downhill.
You should be coming downhill almost at the beginning. And I see you pull the guard. You just basically pull the guard across, and then let the center catch the guy.
Right.
Yeah, and then get just everybody blocking, and good downfield blocking too. I mean.
Yes, bad read by.
I'm about to say, the running back just decided he wanted to go hit that guy. That's what I always tell him on film. Like, you just felt like you needed to go hit somebody, didn't you? Yeah.
You know, obviously, the teaching point is we try to get on the hip of the quarterback. You know, we tell our quarterback, you're running just like you're running the ball, and you're trying to find the hole. Yeah. And then you find the first ugly guy that shows up, and you know, when he came this way, we should have probably kicked. You know.
Right through there.
Again, people get in, get out. And, you know, it's hard to fault a guy that's had some good runs, but a lot of times we want him to get in and get to the outside as fast as possible.
Yeah, and here it is again. This time, you know, you can see that it looks like he gets outside of him. And then I don't know, the pitch back, fullback, whatever you want to call it, sees it and, you know, takes it to the outside.
Again, it's one of those deals that probably pre-snap after the first time, he realized he could get to the outside leg. And, you know, we don't feel like we are blessed with a whole lot of speed. Thus, we want to get downhill in a hurry. That way you don't have to block near as long. But in that particular case, you know, defensive end, same kid was blocking him, and realized he had a shot at getting to that outside leg. And if we throw to that outside leg, it gives us a shot.
Right.
This was a botched play, by the way, that you're about to show.
Well, what's interesting about this isn't the play. It's actually one thing I saw on down. So here's what's interesting. See this young man here coming to make the block that we would always, up until this year, he would have probably teed that kid up. But he's not. So what are you, coach? And this is just one of those. What are you telling? This is perfectly executed. I mean, get in front of him. Don't headhunt him. We don't need a 15-yard penalty on a busted play that's going to get us 15 yards, right? I mean,
yes, sir.
Well,
we say boo.
Yeah. I mean, literally, we've told them to get where you would have the opportunity to knock the thunder out of them and just let them know. Holler at them, try to get in the way. I mean, it's almost just setting a screen.
Yeah.
Trying to get their attention. It's tough, and I get it. I'm not saying that it's wrong. If you want to talk about cut blocking, I could sit here and talk for 30 minutes about what I think is right and wrong about cut blocking. But this particular block, I do agree. It's the blindside block is something that needed to be changed, and so we just tell our kids, let them know that we've got, when we bootleg pass, we have a deal we call circle the wagons to set up the boot, and no longer can that guy sit there and just wait on him and do anything. So we try to tell our kids to let them know.
Yeah. That's kind of what we use, the basketball analogy, right? The whole set the pick almost, right? Kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except for you're going to take the charge, and you're not going to get a penalty.
Right.
So you get some gap penetration here, and I was just curious, on a kid that's, if y'all are blessed to play Rankin this year, I don't know are they on the other side? You would meet them in the finals, right?
No, sir. It all depends on this upcoming week. We already know where we are. Depends on what happens. They're playing Balmorhea Thursday, I think.
Is it Thursday? Is it Thursday?
That's what I was told. That their game was moved to Thursday.
Wow. Okay.
But maybe you heard something different, because we were planning on going and watching the Garden City, Sterling City, and we were going. Bub was going to go to one, I was going to go to the other. But at regional cross country, Coach Jones told me that Rankin and Balmorhea was going to be on Thursday, and his game's on Friday. So
I may just have to get a hotel out there and go, if they're going to split those two up.
Yeah,
man,
it ought to be two good games, man.
It's our off week this week, so yeah.
I think it's that Rankin.
The reason I was saying is we play Rankin week 1, and we didn't have any scrimmage film, and they've had 2 guys that came onto that team that we didn't know about, and one of them was a kid right here, and I'll end up sending you our film, but boy, that kid was you talk about A-gap penetration. Holy cow. They shot his butt out of a gun every time.
And that's the one thing about J-Gun that's been good is you see that we were able, with that one, with the A-gap penetration, still able to get the fullback through.
Yeah. But it's close.
But we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't do a very good job at all of getting the end, and that penetration forced us back up inside.
Yeah.
But we've been able to get to the end. We could have probably survived the A-gap penetration.
Well, do you go ahead and just have the guy cut? I mean, do you have him just take the drop step and cut if he's too quick?
We tried. We drill this pretty hard. Coach Edwards works with our linemen, and he drills this hard. This is just not very good on our part on this one. Is we want to. There's a reason why we have the outside foot up. Is we feel like if they do, you'll notice both guys have their outside foot up.
And they can drop.
If they do shoot the gap, then we just step and punch with that left foot and punch and try to hinge and just keep him from.
Yeah. What's the distance here, Coach? I can't really.
It's about 2.5 yards. We can vary that. We've done it even wider. I actually went back and was just watching some previous years' video, just trying to look at some things that we've done against particular defenses of teams that we feel like we may see down the road.
Right.
And just kind of looking at our gaps on those. You know, we've gone to 3, maybe nearly 3.5 yards at times, but right now I feel like we're about 2.5 on both. We may split the end, you know, maybe 3 every now and again, maybe a little more, just depending on where we're headed with the ball.
Right.
You know, don't want to give too much up by alignment. But we do a lot of things, like I say, coming back to the left that include the guard folding or kicking.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to, we want him in a position that we don't tip off, that we're coming back left if the gap's closed too much, if that makes sense. So
yeah.
We want him to be comfortable so that what happened here doesn't happen.
Gotcha.
And I think he got better. Again, early in the game, you know, we did some things that I thought we made some mistakes, and then as the game wore on, I thought we got better and better, which is why you play teams like Pot Deer. You know, they're definitely going to expose you to some of the things that you do wrong, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm that's why we travel all the way out last couple of years, is, you know, playing teams like Sterling City and Rankin have been really good for our program.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so here, I guess, you know, you got the outside guy coming, but you're releasing. I mean, you got 2 guys taking an outside route. This is just one of those things where they guess right, and is that kind of because the key?
I hate to keep saying it, but it's another busted.
Yeah.
Another bust on our part.
This guy should the center hit him on his way out? Is that typical?
The center is actually supposed to down block.
Oh, this guy's down blocking. Okay. Oh no,
the center is blocking left, and the guard is supposed to block right.
Oh, okay.
And we got.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, and that's just one of those. I was wondering because it didn't look like. Yeah. So yeah, here you don't have he didn't get to him.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Gotcha. Well, I was just curious.
This is so bad that we're sitting here trying to figure out what the play is, because that doesn't look like one that we're supposed to be running right now.
Yeah.
I just remember talking to the kids that center wasn't supposed to go out. I mean, it was a definite bust on our part.
I mean, there's just here was one, just a few more coaches, and we'll, yeah, you know, I couldn't find too many plays where White Deer went into a spread, so just, this is one of them. I found it kind of interesting. You know, you got 2 different, looks like, ways in which these guys are lining up in their footwork. And, you know, I mean, how do you want your ends? I mean, do you want them kind of wider? Do you want to start them closer? What's your thought? Or does it just depend upon who the spread back is?
Well, a lot of it's just alignment, like what formation they're in. But we kind of like to get them a little wider and kind of funnel everything back inside. So that's kind of we call that a 2-4, though it's safety's already back, those 2-2-2.
Yeah.
And you got 2 linebackers sitting there in the middle if they got a size to run. You see them filling right there?
Yeah. Yeah, both stepping up. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, as far as position of if you rewind that to the beginning, if you look at our alignment, the rusher on top,
yeah,
you can tell he's probably been cracked sometime or another, you know, so he's got his back turned any kind of crack. So he's going to get across. He's going to get across with his back. That way he don't get cracked, you know, try to draw that penalty.
Yeah.
And the other one's probably been a guy that hasn't been not rushing on the side where you might get cracked, which he actually is, because that receiver's off the line of scrimmage, so that one can actually come in motion and come back.
Yeah.
So he should be the one with the back turn.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good play because it's a 3rd down and they don't, you know, it's a good stop. And it's a good, really good, you know, hats on the ball. You know, anytime you got 4 guys with hats on the ball, that's always good.
But we teach our rushers, you don't just go and just be out of control, because one, you're going to get cut. Two, you're going to get up the field and cause a big gap. So we teach our guys 5 fast and then slow down.
Yeah.
Get it, 5 fast, break down, get ready to take on blocks, and then get back, kind of like get back on that rope, get ready to swap a hat.
Yeah.
And they did a pretty good job right there.
No, they did a very good job on that one. Yeah. And we talked about this earlier. This is how you drop back. So you're going to drop a guy into, when you see it's a pass, you got 3 guys coming, but now all of a sudden you're going to have somebody rotate. I'm guessing.
Well, the defensive end gets cut, but he's going to get up. But basically the linebacker, which is that guy, when he sees pass, he drops, and you got you got your 2 corners. They play about 15 yards, but they play about 15 yards up. But if you roll left, then the right corner is going to be in the flat. The safety is going to be over the top from the right side, and then this backside corner rolls back half.
Back half will be in the back half.
Our linebacker's probably over too far.
He should be worried about this guy right here.
Yeah, he needs to learn to stay inside the hash.
Yeah, he's just a little too far. Yeah, he should be right about.
Yes, sir. And then this backside safety.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's staying deep, but all of a sudden, if he sees that quarterback turn his shoulders or throw flat, he's sticking the foot, sprint back up.
Come up for this up here if he needs to. Yeah. No, I mean they have it pretty well as long as the ends. It's always like we always tell, but the ends have got to do their jobs and make him check it down, right? I mean,
yep.
You can't let the spread back get by and get you on his backside and see the whole field. That's not good. Good things never happen for the defense in that situation.
Absolutely not.
Well, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure, and I might get to see if I don't know if I can get a hall pass this week but now that I know Thursday night and Friday night are both big games out there in West Texas, I might have to see if I can get a hall pass. So.
Get a hall pass and give us a scout report.
I'll just
we do need that week 1 game, by the way.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah, and hang on, right after we get off here, I'll show you a couple of things with the O'Brien. But hey, gentlemen, we thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Looking forward to watching y'all in the playoffs and seeing you there at Jerry World. We have to live vicariously through our brothers that can get there. Our Jerry World happens to be in College Station.
Well, I will tell you, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of things that got to happen, and there's a lot of really good football teams, but we've been blessed to be there, and, man, they do treat us extremely well there. That was the dream and the goal when we were wanting it to be at the same location, same time as the big schools. And, the 2 times we've been there, it's been amazing. It's just been, playing on Wednesday, and I know that's kind of a sore subject with some folks, but, when you're talking about kids having the chance to play in the same stadium as Dez Bryant, Tony Romo, some of those guys, walking in there. One thing that we talk to the kids about is, some of these guys that are younger that were on a team that got to go or managers. And, when you pull up and they lift that gate up and you go underneath the stadium, I mean, it's a feeling like no other, when you're talking about the sports world, especially for young men and even us. Bub is not a Cowboy fan at all. Unfortunately, he's a Steeler fan, but even he was very, very
goosebumps.
Yes, it's just crazy. So, shout out to anybody that ever got the chance or that thinks, talks about it not needing to be there. It's for the kids. It's amazing. It is, it's a dream come true for those kids. And they just treat us great. And that's I hope that people understand how well they treat us, even though we are 6-man. UIL, the folks in the place, I mean, Bub, he's a bowler, and he was giving caps to the guys that were taking care of us, and it was a dream come true, and a great experience for not only the kids, but our community and us coaches as well.
That's awesome. Well, I look forward to going and watching it every year, and I grew up in the cusp of West Texas, so grew up around a lot of six-man football, and y'all have a great program. I expect to see the same things, and I hope you do get the opportunity to get back there again. Keep coaching them up, because you look great on film. You really do. I know I get to nitpick. I always find the bad stuff. People always like, it's like, well,
I know what we're doing Monday now.
But anyway, guys, I thank you very much, and just hold on a little bit while we sign off. So for those of you that have been with us, we thank you very much. We thank you for your patronage. We thank you for taking the time to spend a little bit of your time with us and trying to all get better. So we wish you all a blessed evening for doing this at night during the football season, and we wish you all the best. God bless.